Hey now, it's Sharon. I'm back to share another idea on how I became a better police officer through being ostracized and retaliated against by fellow officers. If you're new to the channel, I'm a retired detective. I worked for 20 years for a southeastern city in the U.S., and I was also in the military, sharing my ideas, experiences, thoughts, opinions, and in hopes of helping other folks. Maybe if they've sat and thought about some of the things that I've thought about. But yeah, the ostracism and the retaliation that I went through after blowing the whistle, it was a lonely place. And so I talk about it here on the channel, hopefully helping career officers or people that are thinking about getting into the policing career. I share my views and perspectives, mind you. But now, this is a part 2 on knowing the truth. And I talked about the ostracism and the retaliation, time by myself and how I researched and studied. I questioned my identity during that time, who I was, if I was truly a police officer. It went all the way back to my childhood and being a little brown girl and church and faith. I questioned all of that. And one of my main issues that I discovered even as a little brown girl was white men. Now, I don't know all white men. I haven't been in contact with all white men. And I'm not generalizing. I'm just giving you my experience. My issue was white men and the image of Christ. I talk about that in my book. Let me show you my book right here. It's called My Middle Eastern Conflict, Looking Back at My Future. And that's my book. It's on lulu.com, lulu.com, and it's $15. And I talk about that in that book, some of it anyway, on the issue that I had with white men and the image of Christ. And so I talk about being a little girl and the questions I had about my brown skin, seeing myself in the Bible, not seeing myself in the Bible until I was much older because of researching and journaling and reading journals and books and things like that while I was being ostracized. And so one of the issues I had was with white men. Again, I talk about that in the book, but I do have this question on, and that's why I made it a part 2 on knowing the truth. I got a question for white men. Do you know the truth about this guy? Do you know the truth about him? This image? I'd like to know. That's really why I even did a part 2 on knowing the truth. I want to know if white guys know the truth. I found out the truth. Do you know the truth about that image I just showed? If you would, kind enough, let me know if you know the truth. Drop a comment. And what do you think about the truth? In knowing the truth about that image. And how did it affect you? Because I know how it affected me. I talk about it in a video before this one. I'll just link it at the end so you can watch the full video of what I talk about concerning white men and the image of Christ and my faith walk. I'm 55 now. And I would say at 6, was it 6? It could have been 5 or 6. And I went to the beach, stayed all day at the beach. I said a seagull stole my sandwich and all that stuff. It was funny. But I came home, looked in the mirror, and I said to myself, I'm not black yet. I was reddish brown. Hair was reddish brown because of the sun, but I wasn't black. I was expecting to be black, the color black, literally, because that's what I was told I was. But of course, I'm brown. We know what black is. But yeah, as a little black girl, brown girl, I was looking in the mirror and didn't see black. I saw brown. So when I went to the Bible, I'm looking for black, and I found brown later in life. 40 years old, yeah. That's when I discovered there were brown people in the Bible. That most of the Bible were about brown people, called Hebrews. But yeah, if you know the truth about this guy right here, this image, I should say, not what it represents, not what it represents, but who is this image? Who is this image of? I want to know if the white guys know. It'll be interesting to know if they know the truth, or they care to know. That would be cool too. I don't care to know. You could drop that in a comment, or you could tell me who it is, and what do you think about it, and how did that influence your faith? I'd be really interested to know. I'd like to know the perspectives of other people, other groups, and things like that. But yeah, that's what I created the part 2 for. I want to know from the white guys. You know what? White guys, anybody, tell you the truth. Who is that image of, and do you know the truth? All right? The link for the book will be in the description. And I'll have another question probably next week. But yeah, that was a question that bothered me for years and years. And I didn't answer the question on white men and the image of Christ until answered it when I was in my 40s, I believe. But I had the question ever since I was younger. And I talk about some of the revelation that I got in this book right here. And hopefully it can help somebody else. You never know. You never know when you read it. Some of the revelations that I've gotten can help with your faith walk or your questioning of your identity. But yeah, answer the question. Do you know the information about this image on that book, the Holy Bible that I just showed you? And that's it for now. The link for the book will be in the description. I have an online store. The link for that will be in the description. And as is our tradition, you don't necessarily have to go through a thing to learn from it. Talk to you later. Bye.